Now, on the bottom of the deck, Aquarius, we have the King of Bats. The King of Bats. That could be you in your sign, right? This could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So this card could represent you. It's the one on the bottom of the deck. And a lot of times I view the card at the bottom of the deck as sort of being a one-card summary of what it is that we're looking at today. So given that this is your sign, and this is a person who's logical, who is intelligent, quick-witted. This can happen. This can have something to do as well with like communication and technology, internet, all of that. But this is somebody who's really good in those areas, right? Intellectual and so forth. They tend to be good at being calm. Air signs don't tend to be spazzes unless they have a lot of other elements in their chart. But, take it as it resonates. And sometimes people live out of balance in their sign. So that can indicate some differences, too, that you might find. But we see here the Hanged Man. Of many of you, if not actually physically removing yourself from other people, have mentally, emotionally kind of checked out from others. The Hanged Man has to do with, basically, he ties himself upside down to this tree to gain a new perspective on things, on the world, on his life, on the vision that he has for all of those things. This Hanged Man could be you. You may be feeling a bit apart, maybe some kind of distance apart as you're trying to determine what your next steps are going to be. You're trying to tap into the wisdom within, right? The Hanged Man has that in common with the Hermit card as well. Now, in the recent past, we see this sense of a need to move on from something. This is a person venturing, an imp rather, he's venturing forward from his friends. He's sort of leaving them behind, the ones that he's familiar with and safe with, to go out and seek other things. Who knows what the future will hold? This little imp fellow doesn't seem to know either, but he's taking a chance. He's walking forward in faith and just saying, this may be something that I need to do. This card, all three of these cards are in your recent past. And I think for some of you, you actually have been physically withdrawing from the world. You've been sort of leaving others behind as you're trying to figure out what your next steps are. Maybe it's not about blending in. Maybe it's about being you. Maybe it's about finding your own path or your own way. Maybe you don't want to blend in with the other people anymore. You want to find your own path. And the only way to do that sometimes is to go within, to turn off the noise and to go within. Spending time in meditation or reflection, journaling, talking to people that you care about that can help you. So lots of steps. We see here the Page of Ghosts. And the Page of Ghosts, ghosts is the water sign in this deck. We see somebody who's receiving a message, right? There's something in this cup. The cup is full. For some of you, it could be an offer of love coming in. It could be the thought of beginning love, right? Of wanting something, wanting a new beginning in love, right? Ghosts can be being an air sign, a water sign. That's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy, potentially. This would be somebody that you related to as a child. So maybe you have a child. This is someone who's been on your mind. But for a lot of you, I think it may be that you're thinking of someone. Maybe if you're single, and that's what some of this Hermit and Hanged Man energy's been, that you've kind of, you haven't really ventured forth or sought a new relationship. For some of you, it may be that you kind of have that on your mind and you're thinking you may need to do that, right? We see also here the Eight of Ghosts, the Eight of Cups, right? This is when somebody says, I'm done with the hurt from the past. I'm done with it all. I'm walking away from it. I'm leaving it in the past. I'm done. There's another reader that says, Eight of Cups, that ass. And that's what she's talking about. Like when you leave somebody who's not good for you, a karmic relationship behind you, you kind of have to Eight of Cups that. You have to leave it in your past tense. And note that each of these is about forward movement. Because beneath it, we also have the Seven of Imps. They're moving along all together, a little bit different from our Nine of Imps card. But they're moving ahead and they're going towards a haunted house, but they don't know what it's going to be like when they get there. They just know that they're going. Everyone in the card is an imp except the little one in the middle, which is a person in an imp suit. So again, there's this idea of the one being different from the many. Maybe you have to leave behind a toxic relationship with someone in order to seek out the true love that you are thinking about in a new relationship, as represented here by the Page of Ghosts. Maybe you're trying to figure out what that might look like. And a lot of you knows it, a great big part of you knows that you need to move on to make that happen. Like if you've been stuck in something, you've been stuck in the same old, because it's comfortable. Part of what you're doing, you're setting your fantasy towards that Page of Ghosts. And in here, you've been understimulated, I think, to a large degree. Kind of bored and frustrated, but a little bit scared. You want something else and you want to move on to do it. Maybe this King of Bats is telling you that you got to cut it out. Like whatever it is that's holding you back, you got to cut yourself free from that. Maybe that's why the sword is poised and these eyes are open. Maybe that's that energy right there. Don't we kind of have to get to a point to be able to move on? Like, let's say we put this here, right? Don't we have to cut somebody out to be able to move on and leave them in our past? Yeah. So whatever that energy is for you, it certainly looks like it's playing out in here. Now, excuse me, we have here the Justice card. The Justice card could also represent the sign of Libra. Okay, we've got the balanced scales right here. The 11 card. This is not our personal justice, though, in this major arcana card here. This is divine justice. We get what we deserve, but not always. Sometimes there's a balancing of the universe that has nothing to do with it. I can be a good girl, 100%, in theory, right? But I could be as good a girl as could be good, but that doesn't mean that the universe is going to dole it out like that, necessarily. Now, for some of you that have been thinking about a new love situation, you may have some attraction that's going on with a Libra at work or with someone like that. Maybe somebody that's kind of got that balanced energy. Or maybe for you, it feels like a balancing energy. And it looks like you may be wanting some romance in your life. You know, you're kind of tired of being without, or at least from coming from whatever you were in. And you want to move on to better, greener pastures. Now, from the Nine of Imps, where he's kind of venturing away from the crowd, but still close enough to go running back, maybe that's what happened a few times, but you're getting to that place, you're going to be, if you're not already, coming to that place where you want to 8 of Cups that ass, again, to quote that other reader, and you kind of want to walk away and leave all of that toxicity behind you. Then we see here with the 10 of Imps, though, right? The 10 of Imps is showing us that one of the dolls that he's been stealing has been dropped. This Quasimodo fellow's got a lot of responsibility, a lot of burden to carry. So he's moving on or away, but he's taking what he can from that situation. And that could be material things or ill-gotten gains, or it could be simply the lessons that have been learned. But some things have to be left behind, right? That's implicit in this 8 of Ghost card. Something has to be left behind. Something that you've invested a lot of time, attention, or energy into. Something that you once may have had passion for. And then this last card, here's the Page of Imps. This is about a new, passionate beginning. Pages are scholars. So, you know, we see the Page of Ghosts. There's this desire up here, this longing for some sort of a love relationship. Now, moving forward, it's possible that this Page of Imps becomes something in your future. We move from the Hermit through the 7 of Imps card, where you're moving along on your path, and then in comes this Page of Imps. Now, that's a fire sign. That could be passion. So that could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius person, potentially. But watch out for ill-gotten gain, too, because the 10 of Imps can imply that. Like in the Rider-Waite, it's more of a responsibility card. He's got all these wands. He's not really dropping anyone. This one kind of has an influence from the Seven of Wands, Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords, where he's sort of getting away with something. This kind of has a similar energy in that. So it could be that this Justice, this Libra is not free. Maybe they're already involved with somebody. It could be that it's more about the idea of having the relationship than the specific person. Whatever that is for you, take how that resonates. Just be careful that you're checking in with yourself and that you're allowing divine timing to work for you in finding these new opportunities. Sometimes we want things badly enough that we're not willing to wait for them to come in their divine timing. And that can be one of our karmic lessons that we have to learn along the way. Now what I'm doing is I'm shuffling an Archangel Raphael Oracle card. All right, have faith. Our card today is have faith. I wondered if that was going to come out because I was looking at that earlier when I was shuffling for somebody else. Let me open up briefly to the book so we can get your reading out. Have faith. You drew this card as a reminder of the healing power of faith. The divine healer and teacher Jesus frequently taught and demonstrated that with faith, all things are possible. Jesus and Archangel Raphael can boost your belief and trust if you've been struggling because of recent events. You can borrow their perfect faith to help you remember that everything really is in perfect order, even if appearances seem to contradict the spiritual truth. This card asks you to expect miracles in surprising and unexpected ways. Continually give any worries to God and listen for inner guidance about which actions to take. Possible specific meanings include there's a good reason for optimism, prayer helps but worry worsens a situation, develop a healthy stress management program for yourself, avoid naysayers and only listen to positive voices, trust the person and situation you're inquiring about. And the prayer on the card says, Dear Jesus and Archangel Raphael, thank you for boosting my faith so that I may trust in miracles.